Ahoy, listeners! Welcome to the Yonko Podcast with me, Alex John, and our crew, Burke and Brock. What the fuck? Holy shit! 1021 was fucking exciting, my god! Let's just get into it. The demon child is a demon adult, and she is wrecking some shit! And Brooke, he's a fucking G, ladies and gentlemen! And there's the G! Let's jump right in! Let's set sail! Chapter 1021, Demonio!
Demonio.
Wow. Wow. This is fantastic.
All I gotta say is I called it, bitches!
Yeah.
I called it!
Yeah,
Caribou had a bunch of food in him!
A lot of it.
Lots of it!
What, 40 days
Why don't we
worth?
start with the fact how hard-boiled this goddamn
This is
front
so
cover is.
hard-boiled!
I like that. Is this the same Jaguar that was hanging out with
I think it is.
Kirishiro? Like, is Oda just gonna pop this guy in the next few?
Make him an actual character. I'd be down.
I mean, I'd be more impressed if it was Panda Man, but I'll take this dude.
He's got to be like Waldo, because they just did that thing. Like, why wasn't he?
Yeah,
You know?
he probably was, honestly. This looks like a reoccurring character that's not in the story yet. But hey, he lived on through the cover art.
Anyway.
Senor Pink's grabbing a drink.
I'm just gonna say this is like years later after, Luffy's the Pirate King and, Senor Pink's out of prison or whatever. I don't know what happened to him after.
Did he get arrested? I feel
Probably.
like no one else got arrested.
I imagine everyone except Baby 5 got arrested, is my guess.
Yeah, exactly. So,
We don't see them in
so
Impel
like,
Down.
after they get out of Impel Down, he's like, hey, this is why I dress like this, and Frankie's doing the whole Usopp thing with the ship, and he's crying because he's sharing his hard-boiled story, and he's like, Frankie voice.
Yeah. And I don't know why Senor Pink's smiling, but maybe now he's looking back on it in like a good way, a lighthearted way, and our Jaguar.
Well, yeah, because now at this point he's quit his life of crime. He's no longer part of the Don Quixote
I
family.
believe-
He's back with his wife.
I believe his wife is recovered.
Oh, you're such an optimist.
Shut up. I'd like to think that they're living happily.
You probably think Ulti and Page 1 are alive
Alive.
still.
What
What a loser!
I want everyone to live all the time. Brock, don't get out. You're gonna hurt somebody. No, not the door. Not the door. No, Brock. Well, welcome to
This is the Nico. This is the Nico now.
podcast.
I'm going to cry a little bit.
Okay. Sorry, I know that you're really fond of Page 1 and Ulti.
Anyway, all of that aside, let's jump
Nice
right
cover art.
into it.
Yeah, let's get into this fucking chapter.
I don't know, it's kind of lame now that I think about it.
Shut up, Brock. You were so hyped for this chapter.
In full,
Speak for me.
All right, we'll get
in
into it.
full bloom, a nice
nod to the flower, know me?
What a temper tantrum. That big thing must be taking a lot out of you,
innuendo.
Heart.
I was gonna say double
God.
entendres for the win.
God,
Cat
Maria.
fight. Am I right?
Yeah,
Meow.
jeez Louise. Don't worry about me, huff, huff. I plan on settling this quickly.
Please stop reading this like a sexy fan.
Wow, I should go to Horn jail already.
Yeah, wow.
Bonk.
Anyway, sea serpents! That's cool. I like that a lot. Bunch of hands. Now, we have to understand, Robin has always been...
Oh, I just noticed... this is really...
Go ahead, jump in.
This is really dumb. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, jump in.
I really just noticed this. She had 8 arms
Yes.
Yep.
to combat the 8 legs.
Yes.
Sorry, that was a dumb...
It's not dumb. I mean, it's just...
Maybe that's a parallel. Right?
yeah.
It's good.
It's
It's good.
helping her even out.
Can I just say, though, the OP-ness, shoot, that's stuck on recording. Black Maria is OP.
Yeah, she's very One Piece-y, Alex. She's One Piece-y as hell.
She's very OP. We come to find out about all of her frickin' abilities in this chapter, and I am amazed that Robin survives all this in such a stunning way. Because, literally, Robin always gets hurt wherever her arms are, so making herself bigger, this is a big risk on her part.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
And I think she knows that going into this fight. Dang it, I messed up there, guys.
Yeah, you did.
Ah, shoot.
But
That's okay, we're
we'll
used to
just
being
move
smart.
along.
I'm going to take 2
Anyway,
panels
sea
off.
serpent. She goes and
Starts grabbing
those legs for days on the spider, and then she starts going for the face. There's no escape. You think that'll make me give up? And then she slashes at the arm. Get a clue!
That's sharp.
And as we see, the blood also appears in the same spot on Robin's normal arm. So your real body gets injured too.
Black Maria figured that out quickly.
This is going to be a piece of cake. These massive limbs are just bigger targets.
Real quick, Burke, quick pause.
Yes.
So what I like to think about is that this is probably the first time we've ever seen Robin legit duke it out.
Not only duke it out, but I think this might be the first time we've seen her bleed because she was fighting somebody. Not because somebody punched her and or hit her.
Falling caltrops in Dressrosa. She put up an umbrella, but she was bleeding on her back.
Okay.
But she really wasn't fighting. She wasn't fighting. Like, she was assisting.
This has been the first time she's been putting her body on the line in an actual 1v1.
And plus, this is her first, like, major 1v1.
And she is not a tank. Okay?
No,
we can give Robin lots of credits.
She's an assassin.
She's not a tank.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's really and then of course we see the steaming stinger, which is also Black Maria's legs. And of course, notice, Robin says so Black Maria, so you finally noticed my legs are poison tipped.
As she lets go of the leg that is now burning her.
So she's a scorpion and a fucking spider.
Well, spiders can have poison.
Poison legs?
Really? I wouldn't say legs per se.
I'm just saying, this Black Maria's
she's getting out there.
She's very OP, and now it's getting even more.
Why are you trying to change it?
Because I didn't want to. No, I don't want to say it again. Anyway, Burke, go on to the next thing.
Anyway, so you finally notice my legs are poison trap. Marionette, she spins her web to
catching a bunch of arms.
That's funny. Never mind. Forget it.
No, say it.
No, please.
Wouldn't it be funny?
Please.
No.
Okay.
Keep going.
Marionette, Maria, hush. Maria, no.
Jeez.
Maria, yes. Anyway, sorry.
That's not in the dialogue.
No, I'm just...
Anyway,
I wish it was now.
She grabs all of Robin's limbs, giant Robin, that is, and fully exposes her... I don't know how to read this.
Large tracts of land.
I don't know how to read this. I don't.
She exposes her body to attack.
Her giant. I don't know how they're gonna animate this, but like, I mean, Oda's. Just lines, I guess.
It's pretty easy.
Can I just say, Robin can make fully clothed clones. She did it at Fishman Island. She's done it multiple times.
Imagine,
she did, didn't she?
She is choosing to be out.
No, here's the thing, guys. I'm thinking this is probably, and it sounds like this takes a lot out of her, and it'd probably take even more to put clothes on this thing, which is probably its bare minimum.
So
it's very bare minimum.
Wait a minute. Yeah. No, hold up. Because wasn't there a scene earlier where Black Maria was clearly not wearing that sash?
I pointed it out, and the internet put me in horny jail, but I pointed it out. Yes, she started the battle with her whole tattoo exposed.
That both are on Robin and Black Maria. Maybe they. I hate to say this, sorry, but I think they're both fighting tits out, bro. And that's just Oda's way of censoring it is with these lines.
Well, no, I think that's absolutely how. Well, Black Maria actually has a band.
But
because
sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not. No. Like right now, it's there. Yes, I saw it on her back earlier.
Well, it's covering her tattoo too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But there was.
But Robin has straight up. Robin's in the very beginning when we just saw her back and that symbol, right?
Yeah. And
then she had the bands on the next time we saw her. So, I pointed out actually in our last episode, 1020. Go look at that video. Point out when we talked about it. But yes, Robin doesn't seem to have any clothing whatsoever, and
I just realized
on her big self.
I just
wearing normal clothes.
I just closed in on her big big boobs. And I was like, wait, this looks really bad.
She has bigger boobs than not me. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Why does that matter?
I'm just saying it's true. It's true.
We're not trying to focus on
these. These are facts. I'm just laying them out here. I'll probably put something up in the video to show you that I'm right about this.
Please don't.
I like being right about this. They'll both be clothed, but like it'll be like Robin in this shot, in the same shot, Nami. Okay. Clearly a bigger sign.
Go to horny jail.
I'm gonna go.
This. I'm moving on. I'm a martial artist at heart, and it's not like I need to hold back since we're both women.
See this?
Oh gosh, wow.
I don't know how to read this. Look.
Taste my oiran knuckles. Starts punching Big Robin in the face.
And it's hurting little Robin so much.
Ag. What a satisfyingly large punching bag.
That's a real shame. Now,
I initially thought that Robin was letting her get all these hits in when she started fighting because maybe this would be some scheme. Robin's a very smart character.
Yeah,
very much so.
But as we go through the fight, she is literally doing her best, and Maria is just overwhelming her.
Yeah.
And that sucks. She punches the next time, and the giant one blooms away in a bunch of petals.
Oh my. Now you're the one trying to get away.
More giant hands, more sticky webs. Maria Cage. And
by the way, my web is flammable.
Where's the fire coming from?
That's the spider's
What
mouth.
spider does fire? Okay, so can we just list webs, fire,
Poison.
and poison all in? This has got to be the most technical smile in the world. Or she's Arachne. But even Arachne, I don't know if she has all that extra stuff.
I'm telling you, it's a smile at this point.
This has to be a hyper-alternated smile.
Absolutely.
Or maybe... Never mind.
Actually, my girlfriend brought up a very interesting point about smiles. I'd like to address it very quickly before we move on in the chapter. If you eat a smile, can no one else have that same type of smile?
I think they can.
I think they can.
Do you think they can have the exact other type?
I think so.
So you don't need to die to relinquish that smile power to somebody else?
Nope. Because I think that they could just essentially make a bunch more smiles.
But also...
The obvious backlash being that not all the smiles work.
Right.
Well, also...
Can you swim with a smile?
Nope.
Okay.
I think we're also presuming that they know what is contained with each smile, because we don't know what goes into the fruits.
We can't even call out what a fruit is unless we clearly know that this the flare fruit was okay, that's the flare fruit. Okay,
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, how do you not know that's not the flare fruit? But Dofi's string fruit, silver pear, right? Well, smile, they all look the same. Literally, when we were in Dressrosa and they were growing them, they were literally all the same looking thing, and then I guess they give you vastly different abilities.
Yeah.
So I was just curious if we just had an unlimited number of abilities
And
none of them are the same.
Dongo.
Or, because that's the thing, Delfruit's interaction with the soul, Smile's just artificial and only Zoe. Weird, right?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's some Caesar stuff at Vegapunk.
Okay.
We need info.
I'm gonna go off on a friggin'
Tinfoil hat time!
theological almost thing
God.
here
That's a little different.
about the world of One Piece.
Alright, jump off.
So I think we've established,
Yes.
in essence, that the Kibi Dango, whatever you want to
Dongo,
say,
yeah.
that come from
Thomas
Thomas
Cheeks.
Cheeks.
Yep.
They work on smile users.
Right.
They work on smile users and actual wild beasts.
Right.
Yes.
Smiles, that we know of, are a more recent invention, at least within the last 20 years.
Yes.
Correct?
Speculative.
Speculative.
Yeah,
Very
speculative.
likely.
Yep. Very likely.
Very likely, yeah.
I propose that we do not have a deist sea devil, but one who is actively involved in the affairs of the world. It talks about how the devil fruits were all made by a sea devil of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's the
But-
cursed witch of the sea.
But or whatever it is that creates the
That's
the devil
speculative.
fruits.
Yeah.
What if the sea devil is actively seeing that these smile fruits are being distributed in the world and thusly made Tama's Kibidango fruit as a complete
As an
anti to that? I just have to say that right now.
It's an interesting point.
Because if before this 20 years, I'm just saying, this last 20-year period that Kaido's been active and probably helping with the research
Caesar,
and creation
Doflamingo,
of smiles, why would you ever need a fruit? Or what would be the use of a fruit that tames both smile users and the wild beasts? Obviously, it's perfectly fine for the wild beasts.
I imagine, if I may, that it might be along the same lines as to why, and we don't know why yet, why Luffy's fruit, being a gum-gum fruit, is so important.
And why it was kept by the world government.
Yes.
So
Because at a glance, we're not sure what could be so all important about gum. Obviously, they made rubber has its perks. You can't be hurt by blunt damage and stuff
and
like
you've
that.
got a rubber. Never mind.
It's got enough.
We're going to some weird places.
It's got enough weaknesses that you say it's not overpowered, and Luffy has found a way to maximize its
Oh
abilities.
yeah, he's just super creative.
We don't know about a past user that might have gone farther than Luffy. Maybe it was a void thing. I don't know. And maybe like and this is incredibly speculative, but maybe there was a guy in the Void Century that really did maximize Useless Fruit, and every single time it's reoccurred and someone's eaten it, the government's gotten to them very fucking quickly. And only during Shanks' whole time in becoming a Yonko was he able to get it from the world government again, because they'd captured the most recent time, and now it's back in the world. But wouldn't you think that early on Luffy would be a much bigger threat if they knew that he had the Gum Fruit?
I don't think they did.
They didn't know he had the Gum Fruit?
At least not early on.
I mean, first Marine he punched, right?
I think by the time that he became...
Especially with how much he always says it. Sorry to interrupt.
Well, here's the thing. I'm thinking by the time... Because you got to remember, he started off in the weakest sea, which they weren't paying shit attention to.
No, and
like,
the Marines over there...
It was literally... the Marines over there were shit. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, like, once it became a big enough deal to become a threat to the world government, say Water 7, that's when it was like, oh, wait a minute. You know? Mm-hmm. Even if he was announcing it...
But even then, he didn't get a billion... berry bounty until after the whole Katakuri thing.
Well, I know, but like here's the thing.
Named
like,
the 5th Yonko.
I think they were still focused on the fact that like, I mean, it's probably like, think about it, like, you saw when he was a kid, Rubber, despite such a simple power, it's probably an exceedingly hard power to master. Because
you'd have to believe, right?
You've got to really be able to control like how far you can punch, the strength of your punches, that kind of thing. It's a very much focus on your own body, which is why he's so
grew
strong.
Up with it, right?
Yes.
It's not like he grabbed it as an adult and was like, I need to think about how to do this. Doflamingo Fairy saying as a kid.
But that's why I think, you know, I'm sure Shanks probably had a hand in hiding his existence.
Well, Garp
too.
as well.
And Garp as well, yeah.
Right.
And plus, I also real quick, Burke, and also, if it's such a big secret thing,
Huge thing says who's who.
What?
Huge thing says who's who.
Oh, yeah, big thing. I don't think lower level Marines will know about it because this sounds like something that's kind of hidden with the upper.
Like some Gorosei type shit.
Maybe. I'm not sure how high, but I mean, this is our first time hearing of it, so it doesn't surprise me.
Right.
Garp had communication with Roger.
Sure did. Raise my son.
That too. Garp knows of Shanks.
Yes.
At that point, he wasn't necessarily a Yonko when we first...
He was on Roger's ship.
He was on Roger's ship.
Right.
Anyway, but then he grows, he goes and gets the Gomu Gomu no. He finds out that Luffy's... Obviously, he's the reason that Luffy eats it because he leaves it unattended.
Really pissed at Shanks.
Pissed Shanks off.
We think it's because he started his pirate's journey. What if? Is that where you're going?
No.
Oh.
I'm saying, what if the reason that Garp put Ace and Luffy with Dadan was because Dadan was some no-name leader of bandits from some no-name island in the weakest sea.
Yeah.
Just to keep Luffy safe, to keep him off the radar until he could either sway him to become a Marine, and in that case the Gomu Gomu no Mi is back in the hands of the world government, or he just keeps him on Fuchsia Island or Fuchsia Village forever, to the best of his ability.
I mean, we technically don't know where Luffy was born. I mean, he shows up on Fuchsia, right? And then he's moved by Garp to be with Ace into the forests.
I mean,
so I'm just saying, what if Shanks tipped off Garp to, hey, your grandson has the Gomu Gomu no Mi.
And this is...
I stole that from the world government. It's kind of a big deal.
Garp would know instantly, wouldn't he?
I would hope.
You would think, being a vice admiral at SBS.
You never know.
I think... well, this is very much like a side, like, very much a what if, but like I also think there might be some importance to the East Blue itself, or at least its ability to, despite being the weakest sea, create some of the most fearsome people.
Sure.
Because, and this might be totally just off base, but like...
Tinfoil hat?
Tinfoil hat, you know, like, if anyone's watched One Piece Strong World, the Straw Hats actually get the chance to fight and defeat Golden Lion Shiki, who was a member of the Rocks Pirates. And very often, he would make comparisons with Luffy to Roger as being men from the weakest sea. And when Luffy beats him, he's like, why are people from the weakest sea beating me? And this may just be nothing, but there's a lot of nothings out there right now.
Do we know what sea Blackbeard was born in?
I don't know.
No clue.
Because he shows up in East Blue, right?
We know next to nothing.
He doesn't. The first time we even hear of him is he attacked Drum Island.
Drum.
Yeah, the earliest back we've seen him was when he first joins Whitebeard's crew.
Yeah, and that was in the New World, right?
That was in the New World, so we're not sure where he was.
Yeah, wasn't it? They fought on Wano.
Well,
right?
they were going all around. I'm not sure where they
On
were.
a lot of voyages with Whitebeard, so I don't know.
Yeah, it was something.
When Roger and Whitebeard, they were traveling, weren't they? That wasn't necessarily.
And that wasn't quite when Roger was them, because remember he joins Whitebeard's crew while Odin is with him.
Right.
And we don't see anything else after that with Whitebeard. Truly, just a couple of small things.
We should probably continue.
Yeah, there's a chapter. This is probably an off-week episode.
We're about halfway through, so it's fine. By the way, my web. All of that to say, how is the spider shooting flames?
And has poison, and has webs. Webs makes sense, actually.
Smile fruit. Has to be.
And
Maria kindling.
Everything's on fire. You know whose time it is to shine.
Well, give him a second. He's got to work up to it. He doesn't have a... Okay. I seem to recall you saying this would be settled quickly. This is what you get for defending that disgraced Blackleg Sanji. My line to Alex every time he says Sanji's better than Zoro. Anyway.
They're both a bunch of bitches.
This humiliating defeat just proves how hopeless the pair of you are.
Now you're mad because Robin's getting put in that box.
Of course. Aren't you going to try blooming more limbs? I'd love to see if a flower can survive in this sea of flames.
Let my guard down.
Why don't you ask that, please help me with this.
Gashadokuro.
Gashadokuro.
Which giant skeleton yokai.
Yeah.
Which she seems to like to reference yokai quite a bit.
She really does. To help you put out the fire. Black Maria-san, you keep saying these moronic things. If I were you, I would make myself scarce. Yo.
That trust that Brooke has, love that.
Yeah.
Love that. He's like, I don't need to help anybody.
Well,
You're facing Robin, who I trust vehemently.
That too, but what are you going to do now, Devil Child? It's like I said earlier, you're nothing but dead weight for your crew. All those big shots know you're helpless. The only thing of value about you is your mind. You may as well not have limbs. No one needs your help.
I love that. I love that line because what ends up happening, which we'll get to, is just eat your fucking words.
Yep, absolutely.
Eat your heart out. Anyway, flashback time.
As we see Robin still being beat, we get a flashback to one of my favorite revolutionaries.
Baltigo, more than likely.
Well, yes, it's most likely on Baltigo. But we get to see Koala. It's a move that helps in a pinch, a special punch.
Wouldn't a slap suffice?
Not if your opponent is going for the kill. It's got to at least be a palm strike. You just need to focus here and wham!
I could teach you Ryo Soken instead, Robin.
Dragon Claw.
Dragon Claw. Ooh, gotta love Sabo's Dragon Claw. Also, first time we're seeing Sabo as a flashback, but since, we last saw Sabo.
Yeah, spoils. Well, actually,
it's not spoiled.
Not for anybody who's caught up.
I was like, we've all... What?
Just don't want to say it too loud.
Oh, you're right. We have people watching One Piece in the background that are trying to get to where we are.
Maybe they'll be on the Yonko.
You never know!
You never know. Don't pressure her. Robin's already plenty strong with all her dislocation techniques. But we're worried. We want to help keep her safe after she leaves, too.
I just told you she's strong enough, didn't I?
If that's how you feel, then why not? Go ahead and show me how to do this palm thing.
All right! Now, you have to love this. And I never even once considered she'd learn techniques from the revolutionaries. Never. This is...
Well, I consider she learned techniques from the revolutionaries, but...
like espionage and things that already built on her skin.
Yeah,
but then
sure.
I'm like,
but
the
fact that she's learning from Koala, from Sabo, and from... I always forget the fisherman's name. Hack, that's right.
He's a hack.
He's a fucking hack.
Because he tried to punch Bartolomeo and broke his freaking fist. But look, you have to understand, this makes so much sense. She blooms giant hands. They literally are all martial combatants, basically, in the revolutionaries. This is just ingenious, and I never even once considered what kind of fight did Robin learn when she was with the revolutionaries.
Exactly.
I just never considered it, and it just makes so much sense.
But
so I
obviously
absolutely
she
love
must
this.
have been helping them with something.
Right, and giant hands with
the revolutionaries' whole thing is they want to overthrow the government, the very government that's been keeping the Void Century.
Yeah.
It's things that Robin is trying to find out the true history of.
Such perfect allies.
Oh my gosh.
And now it's a fighting technique as well. I can't even imagine how powerful. You take Sabo's Dragon Claw and you apply it to some giant fucking Robin hands.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
That stuff would be awesome. And if she's able to get armament hockey on that stuff.
Oh
my gosh.
Anyway, so we get punched out of the flashback.
We get punched right out of the flashback. And
retrospect.
Robin, even though she's being beaten, looks very hopeful. In retrospect, it's already come in handy a few times. Gigantesco mano, as it shows, I believe that was back when they were on...
Yeah, they
were descending to Fishman Island, wasn't it?
I think so.
Which makes sense, and again, did not see that shit.
Yeah.
But
That's right. You've got to hone in on your opponent's core. This is going to be your trump card, Robin-san.
You just need to use your palms. Ugh.
It's a secret fishman karate technique. First, you Mirfleur fishman karate. This is the other reason, I get why people, now that we know this, I get why some people might ship Robin and Jinbei a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, that's the whole thing with Koala, right? Is she was saved by, the Sun
Fish
Pirates,
and
and now she teaches fisherman karate. It's so cool.
Growing, huh? Oh, wait, or...
Yeah, growing. The
sound effect is
growing. Huh?
Huh? Gigantium!
Boom! Smashes the ceiling. You missed!
You
no!
missed.
Don't tell me! You maggot! You put out the fire! She did it all by herself, and they didn't help.
She didn't.
Oh.
And then...
Oh, this artwork deserves to be on some walls, ladies and gentlemen.
This is some night on... oh my god. What is it? Night on Bald Mountain shit with friggin' Chernobog.
Oh my god.
As out of the rubble that she has now created rises a winged demon. A devil?
I'll be a devil if that's what it takes.
Okay. I gotta stop there for a second. This makes me so emotional because it's along the same lines as Chopper, who I've always had a soft spot for. Mm-hmm. If I need to be a monster, that's what it takes. I'm paraphrasing here, but it was about being useful to the Straw Hats.
It's about no longer worrying about appearances.
No. It's no longer worrying about reputation, appearances, any of it.
They found their
what
family.
They've said about you, the stereotypes, anything they call you, I'll become the thing.
I love this whole callback. She is embracing what the fucking government has labeled her as for her entire life. Nico Robin, Devil Child.
The Demon Child.
The Demon Child. I'll be a devil if that's what it takes to help the people that count on me.
Get away! What the hell is that for? And you are fucking scared, aren't you, Black Maria?
And this awesome callback to just a few panels ago. You may as well not have limbs, right?
No, I wasn't talking about me. You're the one who's helpless. Helpless?
Jacuzzi clutch.
Oh, gosh. Look at that, dude.
Oh my god.
Now look. Now the artwork is amazing, and
okay, is Robin using armament? Speaking of what I said earlier,
I want to say she is. Just the dark.
Why on earth would Sabo and Koala not help teach her armament?
I don't know. Right?
Especially because
Sabo's there. That's his whole dragon
Sabo's thing is he uses the Dragon Claw fist with armament.
Right.
And so
it'd be the only thing I could explain the color.
And that's the other thing. So we mentioned at the beginning of this chapter, Robin's not a tank.
No.
But if she learns armament, she stands a much better chance in keeping herself safe. Stuff like what just happened with her.
The poison.
The poison. It's not going to break through that.
That's the whole thing Luffy does. Whenever he doesn't want to be cut, armament's up.
So that's where I'm leaning with that, is that I think she has armament. I don't see why Sabo wouldn't teach it to her.
The anime cannot lie. We will know for sure when it comes out.
I cannot wait.
But I love the color spread at the very end of the chapter that shows her with armament.
The coloring is very clear.
Yeah, no, it is. It's the artist was like, nope, this
also,
is definitely
I love
armament.
that she is clutching her with her leg, she's breaking her neck essentially with her leg.
Yeah, dude, and she's grabbing
There's
all the
so much going on here that
and Robin has always been able to create these wings out of her hands, but they've always been angelic, and this is just demonic.
This is so great.
And I love it. I absolutely love it. She is taking everything that they've said about her and making it her strength.
And so this is also
making it what makes her feared.
This is also super fun because Robin has always had this dark sense of humor that leads to she's such a kind hearted person to the people she cares about, but she always makes like these dark jokes,
super dark
and
jokes,
like all of these things, and so it like hints to the fact that she underneath is a freak.
Yeah,
like not necessarily a freak, but
she doesn't want to be, but she can be.
She can
it's her
be.
potential,
and it's like, oh my god, she's being malevolent right here. And this person deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
All the shit that Maria's been saying.
I wish she could have had this form because of all, as much as I hate Maria in this moment, I wish she had this form back with Spondum.
Mm-hmm.
I wish.
Yes.
Oh.
It's so good. If she ever sees Spondum again, you know the shit's coming out.
I want it so bad. What was that sound just now? And that haunting scream?
Now, if we're talking about amazing panels in this chapter, Brooke does not get outdone in any sort of way. He also gets a very cool panel. Burke, please continue.
I can't see with all this ice in the way. That damn Gasha Dokuro.
Black Maria-sama.
Did something happen?
It can't be. No way. And the shadowy figure in the distance, the demonic wings,
so
the
great.
horns. Black Maria-sama. Yeah, it's a demon. Thanks.
And all of a sudden,
and then just
the ice wall shatters.
Thanks for lining up like that. Yo. Now, without further ado, phrase d'armes.
Orchestra!
And look at that beautiful.
It's such a beautiful panel.
He goes up and down and spins and makes
shot.
this beautiful note. Oh my god.
Double treble clef.
Yeah. Yeah! And it's all being recorded by this little fucking bird over here too.
I overdid it a bit. Easy there, Robinson.
Yeah, Brooke.
And then yes, one of the Marys is recording / looking down. Now back down to Tokage Port.
No, Tokage.
Tokage.
Oh god, just leave me alone. Tokage Port Udon.
And then we get to my moment that I call...
Don't you guys get it? That's a whole month's worth of food. If you don't pay me back in full, we're gonna be screwed.
It's crazy you can carry that much food on you.
My swap fruit capacity is boundless.
Strawhead, if you're feeling better, please give us an update on what's happening on Onigashima. What happened to our cabin in Beppo's group?
All right, so okay, Luffy's eaten. He's gonna be pretty much fully recovered.
Yeah,
at this
he's
point.
gonna be just fine after this. So that's fantastic.
This is a cool moment.
This is a great moment.
There's a reason that I chose the art for this particular thumbnail that I did, and I think this moment kind of speaks to what we may be seeing in the future. You guys will both see when it comes up. I can do it, but how can you ask that of me? That place is too dangerous. I'm not going to let you go back there.
The flower capital? No. All of Wano will be destroyed unless we act.
If I do it, you'll never be able to return to normal, and you'll still have the heart and mind of a child.
I don't care about that. Please. Your help could transform me into a bigger dragon. I beg of you, Shinobu. Use your ripe jutsu to make me an adult. End of chapter.
Oh my god!
Momonosuke stands with
such
resolve.
unwavering resolve. I didn't
see that coming.
Because, look, I get it. She ages stuff until it, goes away and dies, right? Like, she's...
Yeah.
But...
I didn't see this coming.
Applied to a person?
Age him up to be his dad's age, and back when he fought Kaido.
Momo has a chance to actually maybe fight.
Yeah.
I never saw it as a kid, obviously.
Never saw that coming.
But as an adult, with confidence, with probably a fucking cool looking body, right?
Yeah, like no
she...
longer being a baby dragon, he could basically be on Kaido's level in form. Obviously, I'm not saying necessarily in power level.
I think he's. But look, there's a certain resolve that Momonosuke now has because of everything that's happened. Luffy's confidence in him, reading his dad's journal, like it's all culminating, and he has this unwavering resolve now. He's
taking this step because obviously a few chapters back when he was still reading his dad's journal and he realizes whatever we don't quite see what he knows.
There's something there that
as
more to
why
that journal.
Specifically, he cannot die. Why it is so important that he must survive.
He must bring the dawn, etc.,
yeah,
right?
All that stuff.
He gets it, and
now his next choice is, I'm going to make a sacrifice of my childhood, of my whatever, to give more to this fight.
Good for Momo, man.
Good shit right there,
Like,
man.
I have never been a huge Momo fan, and I think there is now potential for me to be one if this goes right.
He's really grown on me ever since he's arrived home.
Yeah.
Before like the best Momo scene for me before Wano was obviously when we had the minks protecting Raizo for all that time and acting like they hated the samurai, and then as soon as Momo comes forth and reveals his identity, you get that awesome moment of all the minks.
I mean, no, his leadership moments have been few and far between, but they've been good. When Dogstorm and Viper are fighting each other, and he's like, "My dad wouldn't want this. I forbid you from doing it." Good moment. When he makes his way and Luffy asks him, "I want him to ask me," and he says, "Luffy, will you help me take down Kaido?" Good moment. Like, and this is just another one of those. It's been a while, but he's resolved.
Even with the mind and heart of a child.
Yeah.
He's getting the leadership down.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
So
So Oda, just keep doing what you're doing with Momo because I've been loving it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, this is a great chapter. Great for Momo, great for Robin, great for Brooke, great ending. Black Maria's done.
Black Maria's dead.
Done.
Down. It's down.
So
at this point, I'm trying to remember.
Drake
is.
I mean, he's on our side,
I'm
but
trying
like,
to think. Who's down? Ulti's dead.
Page one's
dead. We have
Triceracopter.
Triceracopter. I think he's down.
He got shot in the belly, dude. He's done.
And who's who? He sacrificed General Frankie to get that shot on the belly.
Who's who?
No, I already mentioned who's who, and then Black Maria. So yeah, Black Maria's down.
Drake's fighting on our side.
So
he's doing things.
Who's who might be the only.
He has more dialogue, I think.
That I'm not going to say he's going to keep fighting.
No, I think he has more dialogue.
He has more dialogue.
I think there's more he can say. And the whole CP0 storyline. I think that's where he has to get resolved.
Yeah.
I don't think what's the dino's name?
Sasaki.
I don't think he has anything else to say.
No, he's done.
He's not a Senor Pink. He's just, a guy with a pretty funny thing, right?
Yeah.
But he got defeated. He's done. Page one's dead. Guys, he's dead. Ulti, I can't imagine is alive. I just can't. It'd be okay. I'd be okay if she was alive. Page one's definitely dead. Who's got more dialogue?
Anyway,
and Black Maria, there's no way she's getting back up.
The point is,
no way.
The Toby Roper are done.
Yeah.
And it's just in time for Luffy to come back.
Well, it's just in time for the All-Star fights.
All-Stars are coming.
Yeah, I mean, Sanji
we
fight.
got Sanji.
Zoro
we got
with King.
Zoro gonna be riding on freaking Marco.
Dude.
We saw some badass artwork.
And we were all like, we agree. This is the way it should go.
This is fine.
If it is Marco and Zoro versus King, I'm totally down for that.
I'm down.
I'm down for a team up. That's fine with me. Jack has his fight, I guess, with Dogstorm.
Yeah, but I don't know how much we're gonna see.
And Parasparrow's done, but Cat Viper wants to maul his face off.
I hope he does. I hope he just finds his dead body. I just hope he eats it.
Wand and Carrot are out.
Unfortunately,
I think so. I don't see them popping up for any other reason.
Obviously,
I think
most
most
too much.
I think most of the minks are just out of the picture.
And then we're not worried about Big Mom.
Not at all. I don't care.
She's got her own thing.
She's got Law and Kid to worry about.
I guess. Yeah. I do think we're coming to the end game of Wano.
Oh, for sure.
I think
we're starting to take out the big players.
Do you think anyone else comes to Wano before the end of the fight?
No.
You don't think there's no Blackbeard situation, no world government
into the climax
situation
of this war on Wano.
The only thing I could potentially think of is a minor, not even a finish, but a minor scuffle / sideswipe with CP0 for things to come.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I think maybe we might even protect Jinbei might even protect Who's Who against CP0.
I mean, he's the honorable type of guy to do it, so.
Right? And then maybe Who's Who leads us somewhere next. Because I still
that could be possible.
I really don't
Maybe
know.
he takes us to Elbaf. Maybe something with the Gomu Gomu no Mi is significant on Elbaf. We get some of that tie-in with Usopp and plenty of other things.
Let's be clear. The things we have to do in Wano to leave Wano. We have to defeat Kaido. Yes. We have to defeat or get Big Mom to retreat, which I really don't see her retreating, but I don't see how else
at this point I don't
deal with her.
No, so I once said I thought she would retreat. At this point I don't see retreat as an option for Big Mom.
And her kids are still coming.
Yeah.
Maybe
Onigashima falls on the Big Mom pirate ship. Yeah, no, so here's what we do.
No,
we go, no. So, Onigashima. I'm holding on to hashtag Onigashima. It comes down on top of the flower capital, bounces back up. The angle of it lands it back in the ocean on top of the Big Mom pirate ship for our third and final destruction of the Big Mom pirate ship.
We have to do something with them, Brock. We have to do something with all those. That's going to be a whole...
There's so many plot threads.
There's so many powerful people on that one ship, dude.
So...
we have to get rid of them somehow, right?
Honestly...
Oda hasn't forgotten them, right?
I doubt he's forgotten them. I know, honestly, one of the things that I think would make sense... there's a couple of things I think could happen. One, Big Ball legit gets beaten by those
Law
two.
and
Law and Kid. But almost because it seems like she's the kind of character Oda would do this with. The one that kind of just keeps getting away at the last second. And it would not surprise me, and not by her own choice, it wouldn't surprise me if she's in the midst of getting beaten and her kids come in and have her retreat once Kaido's beaten because, like, oh, this war is no longer in our favor. We got to get out.
They force her.
They force her to come with them, and she's probably getting some damage at this point because she's fighting two of the next generation is my guess. I wouldn't that would be the approach that most makes sense to me because that definitely seems like something that would happen with Big Mom and her crew because I don't think we're gonna have a full on fight with their main people.
You think we're gonna skip that fight?
Skip that fight? No.
You think we'll get a full Law Kid fight
I think we'll.
Or do you think they're gonna get sidelined for the Luffy?
So first off, I think this is all about defeating Kaido. I don't think Big Mom's end comes here. So I think if there is a fight here, we're going to see bits and pieces, but we're not going to see a final fight with her here.
It would make sense if we defeated Big Mom in Elbaf.
Could be, yeah.
You know, because she has history there. They don't like her. Maybe they team up with Luffy.
Essentially, my presumption is that Big Mom and co will escape once Kaido's defeated and... Literally,
this whole thing goes
because she was so assured that Kaido could not be beaten by them.
Yeah, right. Maybe that breaks her morale,
and that might break her morale a bit. Yeah. So
okay, so let's go back to my list. So the things we have to still accomplish in Wano: defeat Kaido for sure, find his poneglyph for sure, get a rubbing of that, and then they're on to the final poneglyph. That's
make sure Momo's.
I guess stick around to make sure the flower capital has a transition of power. Kind of like you know how Riku takes, you know, when in Dressrosa Riku retook his position as king. Yes. They're resting, recuperating, maybe they're not helping with that, but like we see Wano restored, open borders, that type of thing. I mean,
also as we saw in the anime, and obviously it was talked about, you know, Luffy's got to have the biggest banquet ever.
All the time.
Absolutely.
He beats Kaido.
I would love it if they have like. The Fire Festival's still going on, so maybe by the end of it, they're like, hey, we're here to party now. And I would love it if Shanks showed up with like a giant bottle of sake to share with Luffy after he's defeated two, presumably Yonko, essentially. And maybe look, Red Hair makes his move in 2021. I just feel like maybe Wano might be a place for him to step foot on.
Sure. I feel like that'd be just a little too convenient.
Too on the nose?
It feels a bit too contrived.
You don't want him. You want Luffy to go to Shanks.
Well, not even just that. I just don't think it's the right time for him to be here yet.
I don't see that as the move that Red Hair Shanks makes.
If he beats Kaido, Luffy is like
he's an emperor. He's a Sanko.
Yeah,
at that point, because two of them are gone.
Well, maybe Big Mom goes back to her territory. We still have four, but
I think
Wano is basically his.
But we
territory.
go back to being on the Yonko.
Wouldn't you say like Wano would kind of be Straw Hat's territory?
Absolutely.
And I'm sure freaking Momo would love that.
Oh, yeah,
sure. Because like he'd
not probably freaking swear all the samurai's allegiance to freaking Straw Hat crew.
Now here's a question for you, Brooke, because I know a while ago we talked about the Grand Fleet.
Yes, of course.
Wano or different stage?
Different stage.
It's a different stage.
We don't need them.
I think it's
At
too.
this point, we don't need.
I think it's too late.
No,
in
we
the
absolutely
stage.
don't need them right now.
Yeah, and I think it's too late in this battle for
No,
them to come.
we've already seen the numbers turn for the Straw Hats so many times.
The numbers sucked.
Shut up.
They did.
The
Come on,
actual numbers of
no
combatants.
CP0 has been very clear about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Has been very clear about that. The numbers are starting to favor the Straw Hats more and more. As the Toby Rope are now falling, all of them are now gone by our count and by our theorizing about this.
Yeah.
Without the Toby Ropo, a lot of Kaido's followers lose a lot of their will to fight.
Yeah, and if the Mary report...
I mean, that was the whole thing with the accidental, oh my god, 2 or 3 of the Toby Ropa are down, whatever the word was that said. A bunch of people defected and or lost the will to fight.
All the Marys have seen each one of them defeated. Every single time we've had a chapter, a Mary has been shown recording that fight.
Yeah.
So all frickin' Tama has to do is go, all of them are down. All of the Toby Ropa are down. Because she's still up there, right? She still has that way to talk.
I'm pretty sure.
Right?
I think so.
Because they were being chased by Page 1 and Ulti, and then
that's gone.
Yeah, well...
One's dead for sure.
They're both dead. But
I'm kidding.
Yeah, Toby Ropa are gone. Numbers weren't anything special. All of the pleasures and the gifters and all of them...
The waiters.
Nothing, right? You have Kaido's big 3, Kaido himself, Big Mom. That's it.
Yeah.
It's looking a lot more winnable.
Oh, straight up.
As a war. Now, obviously taking down Kaido, that's Luffy's fight.
Yeah.
Right? And he's got to get
Which
back up
there. If he has a dragon and a holy fox wolf thing on his side.
That's it. And then he's made friends with Drake, another Marine that is favorable to the Straw Hats. That's Fujitora, that's Smoker, now that's Drake as well. Kobe's already a big fan. I don't know what that all is building to, but there's enough Marines that are like, I'm not going to kill that guy.
There might be a Marine Civil
I like
War
that guy.
at some point.
There's got to be, I think.
Well, that's the whole thing with Sword and CP, right? Is they already don't trust each other. They have 2 secret organizations reporting different branches because they don't share information.
Well, I mean, and you see it more and more in the post-time skip where, like, one of my favorite examples is when they were talking about the God's Valley incident.
Yeah, of course, sure.
When we find out...
Those vice admirals that would have been admirals, are you talking about?
Yeah, we're finding out why Garp didn't become an admiral because he refuses to
be under the
dragons. And
And
if you notice, all the people who were there was like, yep, understandable. Fuck those guys.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who hate the world nobles that are in the Marines.
Yeah.
And so it might actually be Marines versus the world government because those are technically separate organizations.
I don't know why
and watch Lucci be the head commander of all the CP units that eventually help.
Is he the head of CP0? Or you just at that point you think?
No, I'm just saying at that point. I'm not saying he's the head.
Because look, I mean, if we defeat the ones
watch
here
him
in
be in
Wano,
the vanguard.
Well,
that's more what I say.
If we defeat the ones for whatever reason, defeat the CP0s at Wano right now, I think he would be the next in command.
Of course, I think so.
Which
he's relentless and ruthless enough.
He's the only one that we might have another Luffy fight antagonist outside of his main arc.
It's been the only one that when he showed up again, I was just like, could he and Luffy fight again? And I could see it happening.
It is interesting. He is interesting as an antagonist because he's not someone who was destroyed, his dreams broken by Luffy. He seemed to rise above that position afterwards.
Yeah, for sure. He's the
even that shitty fucking purple-haired bitch rose above his position to CP0.
Yeah, at least he's no longer...
I'm fine with him getting smacked by Robin.
He's one of those guys, I think, that just has too many connections everywhere.
I would love if Robin just snapped him with her
like I said,
that'd be great.
Sends him to hell.
I hope you're right about that. I really do. That would be perfect. But no, okay, that's 10-20. Absolutely fantastic.
Only other thing I think coming forward...
predictions.
My only other prediction right now is I do think Doflamingo style as Luffy is heading back to the fight with Kaido. I do think we will probably get a minor to long flashback about Kaido. Possibly.
Right? We still
about
need...
That's about the right timing.
We've been having a good amount of Straw Hat flashbacks. Chopper with Caesar and the Wonder Drug there.
And then Robin
just now, right? Where's our antagonist flashbacks? Come on. Even Dofy
we got to see some of him, obviously, in the Odin flashback, so I think that sated our appetite for the time being.
Okay.
I would like to see some more of Kaido, and it doesn't necessarily need to show the God Valley incident quite yet.
No, I think Zebek is more of a Blackbeard thing.
I think that's going to be some time before we get the full God Valley incident.
That's the connection I want.
Because that was just thrown out there as a line for all of us fans to eventually we'll see when that happens, and I agree with you that it'll probably be something to do with Blackbeard.
Has to, right?
His
ship is named the Zebek.
It's named the Zebek, and at this point, Luffy is the embodiment of Roger's will, and I believe Blackbeard to be the embodiment of Zebek's will.
Roger fought against Zebek. Luffy fights against Blackbeard as an ultimate antagonist. Hey, there it is.
There you go. So
I still think Akainu needs to get his ass beat at some point, but
he will.
I don't know when that
it's
pops
coming.
up. Is it being before
He'll
or
get
after
donated.
Blackbeard?
It's fine.
I mean, really, who is the last antagonist? Blackbeard or Akainu? Really? I think he just falls with everything else. I don't think he's an actual fight.
I don't know.
I think
he seems like a
like
a stallion, but with more
I
power.
can't, the way the story is going, I can't in good conscience, and that was even just a joke on my part. I can't in good conscience just say that it'll be a final antagonist. I think the true antagonist of One Piece at this point is no longer even just the antagonist. I think it's just systems, ideologies.
Break the wheel
thing, but please don't genocide Mary Joie unless it's full of the Celestials, then fuck them.
I think
now if Daenerys flew up on a dragon and burned all of Mary Joie down, fine.
Hey, that would have been great season ending. Are you listening?
Dragon
Riders.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
I think that I think there is a potential for a singular antagonist above all antagonists, and this is how I think it might go, because it would make sense to me, in terms of their positioning as characters. I think Akainu would be the first level antagonist, and I think he would need to be taken down to take care of the real threat, which is maybe
you are right.
And then I think Blackbeard will make his appearance as the true threat, but I think Eam will appear. Obviously, I'm not saying Eam is. We're not even sure who Eam is yet. My perception is Eam is. He comes in and seems like he's a bigger threat to Blackbeard, and then Blackbeard turns out to be the true threat by the end of it. And I think, in the end, I think Blackbeard's the main antagonist.
Luffy arrives at Mary Joie, and Im-sama flies up above Mary Joie. The world will know pain.
This is my alien mother, Kaguya. But look, I actually, Brock, Blackbeard lets Luffy take down the world government. He tries to take advantage of the chaos, kill Luffy, and take the world for himself. Luffy has to beat him. That makes sense to me. That's not a bad theory.
And I don't know if that's even the motivation yet.
I don't think he cares about the fucking world government. He wanted to destroy Marineford himself.
I can't speak to the motivations, but it would make sense to me that Akainu, who is this constant threat, this is how it happens a lot too. Is you have the constant looming threat, which is Akainu and his world government, and then the guy who you really don't like, who you know is powerful, but he hasn't really been doing much in the background. And then finally, when it comes to it, and that big threat's out of the way, guess who comes out of the shadows, baby?
Yeah.
Oh, now you're gonna learn everything about me, bitch.
Moria.
Darkness. No, Foxy.
Blackbeard gets shanked, and then gets just shagged, and he falls, and then it's just. I would hate that ending. I'd delete all these episodes.
So beam, and he gets it right as Blackbeard's about to use the Gura, and he shanks him in the side.
Cuts off his hand. He's like,
I am inevitable.
I really don't know who wins in an Akainu versus Blackbeard fight.
At this point, I'm not sure.
I would love a battle of an antagonist like that. For sure. I think you have to give it to the ultimate antagonist.
That's another thing that could happen too, is he might take out Akainu, which makes him the last thing that Luffy fights.
Yeah, it's sort of like he killed my brother, but
all I gotta say is the world outside of Wano is just as much chaos as the world inside of Wano.
And Wano has a fucking island looming over it. They can fucking bomb it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Alright, 1021 predictions. Next chapter.
You mean 1022?
Shoot, 22. Yes.
Like I said, I don't really have any predictions except that eventually soon Luffy's going to be heading back up, and I think as he's on his way up or as he arrives, we'll start getting a Kaido flashback.
Okay.
All I can say...
We might get some...
Kaido flashback.
This next chapter, we might get some aftermath of Toby Robo defeat. See how many more
how
of
that
the,
affects CP's
how that
zero.
How that affects their numbers.
Yeah.
It affects the morale
HS
of
update, basically.
Kaido's men.
Yeah.
And then we might get a quick update on Zoro. We haven't seen Zoro for a couple of chapters ever since he was supposed to take the miracle pill.
I said next two, not the next two.
So, we'll get an update on Zoro. I think I'm leaning heavily towards he's on Marco's back while they do the king fight.
That'd be great.
I'm actually leaning heavily towards that, not just because I think it'll be cool, but just because that makes sense from a perspective. King's a flyer, and he's a swordsman. You kind of need a combo of both.
Yep. And that gives Marco a supporting role without having him take the fight completely. What I would like and what I think are different, I think we get a Sanji update with Queen. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say we're going to get a Big Mom update, and I'm going to say aftermath of Toby Robo defeat. That's what I'm saying. Those three are mine. That's what I want. That's what I think is going to happen.
I can't guarantee all of those will happen next chapter. I definitely agree with Toby Robo update by next chapter.
Yeah.
Following chapters will be showing some Sanji.
What I would like to see, defeat of Yamato, so that Luffy can kind of fly on in.
Yeah, for sure.
With the next chapter with Momo, full dragon, giant dragon, and just have Kaido go. I want like a funny Kaido and Nell face moment where he's just like, "What the f? He won't.
Why are you still alive?
Like you! I need to kill you!" Like just.
Also, big other dragon.
Yeah, what I want to see is big other dragon, Yamato defeat, and.
Oh my god. Luffy can have a Daenerys moment if
Yes,
Momo's his dragon.
Yes, he can.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
he can. Especially if you do blast breath. And then I want an update on Big Mom. That's what I want.
Yep, cool. Brock, predictions, thoughts,
I mean,
concerns?
you guys said everything, so...
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not...
TDS.
Thanks for growing that beard.
Thank you.
All right, 1021 folks, that's been the Yonko.
2022
next time. Let's see it. No break. All right, listeners, that concludes this episode of the Yonko Podcast. Wowee, wow! Oh boy! Yes! 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 Go Robin and go Brooke! See you all next time on Yonko Podcast Chapter Review 1022. No break. Let's hope. All right, boys, we're off.